The Devil Made Me Do It, the Arne Cheyenne Johnson case. I've studied hundreds of alleged hauntings and possession cases, but few end with a death, and a court case unlike any other in American history. Tonight, I'll take you to Brookfield, Connecticut, 1981, where one young man stood before a jury and claimed, "The devil made me do it." Visual, archival footage or photos of Brookfield in the early 1980s. Quiet streets, snow-covered roofs. Brookfield was a peaceful town, the kind where people left doors unlocked and neighbors greeted each other by name. But in one small house on the edge of town, a family's life was being torn apart by something they couldn't explain. 11-year-old David Glatzel lying in bed, clutching his blanket, eyes darting toward a dark corner of the room. David Glatzel was just 11 when he began describing an old man with black, charred-looking skin who appeared at the foot of his bed. The man would threaten him, shove him, even choke him while he slept. Soon, David's behavior changed. Growls instead of words, violent outbursts, and an uncanny ability to recite scripture backwards. Enter Arne Cheyenne Johnson. Living in the same house was David's older sister Debbie and her boyfriend, Arne Cheyenne Johnson. Arne wasn't one to believe in ghosts or demons, but as David's torment worsened, he became desperate to protect the boy. The Warrens take the case. Actual archival photo of Ed and Lorraine Warren. The Glatzels contacted Ed and Lorraine Warren, famous demonologists. The Warrens claimed David wasn't facing just one demon, but multiple entities. Catholic priests attempted several exorcisms, and it was during one of these that Arne made a fateful decision. Arne stepping forward during an exorcism, eyes locked on an unseen presence. Witnesses say Arne shouted at the spirit to leave David and enter him instead. Lorraine Warren later swore she saw a black mist rise from the boy and sink into Arne. He didn't know it yet, but that moment would change everything. On February 16, 1981, Arne and Debbie were at the dog kennel run by their landlord, Alan Bono. Bono had been drinking heavily. An argument flared. Debbie tried to calm things down, but Arne seemed different, distracted, almost in a trance. And then, it happened. Arne pulling a pocket knife, Debbie screaming, Bono falling to the ground. In a sudden burst of violence, Arne stabbed Bono repeatedly. One wound struck deep into his heart. Bono died within minutes. Arne fled, but was captured 2 miles away. Courtroom sketches from the trial, newspaper headlines, typewriter clacking under narration. When Arne's trial began, his lawyer announced an unprecedented defense: demonic possession. He argued that Arne wasn't in control, that a demon committed the crime. But the judge refused to allow it, declaring there was no legal basis for such a claim. The jury convicted Arne of first-degree manslaughter. He was sentenced to 20 years, but served just 5. For believers, this remains proof that evil can cross into our world, and into our courts. For skeptics, it's a tragic crime wrapped in superstition and sensational headlines. But whatever you believe, one man is dead, and the question of what really happened that day still hangs in the cold Connecticut air. If you ever challenge the darkness, be prepared for it to answer.